Recording in progress.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome everybody to the monthly Town Milton Board meeting. Today is October 25th, 2023. The time is 6:30. I'd like to get the meeting started with a pledge of allegiance by Councilwoman Kirkland.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilman Sachs.
Present.
Councilman Frolich.
Present.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Present.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Present.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Present. Motion to accept the regular board meeting minutes from the September 27th, 2023 meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussions? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Frolich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, a motion to close the Caesar PDD public hearing.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Frolich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, a motion to close the Caesar PDD and to remove it from the town board's agenda in consideration.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Frolich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution 92 of 2023, resolution for a negative declaration of determination of significance, whereas the town of Milton received an application from Mike Monaco under 352 to 356 Saratoga Avenue with tax map number 203.11-1-26, seeking a zone map amendment to extend the neighboring coordinates mixed-use CMU zoning designation to the reference parcel of land which is currently zoned residential R1 and now therefore be it resolved after the review of parts 2 and 3 of the short environmental assessment form, part 1, and the threshold established in 6 New York CRR, part 617.4 and 617.5, the Milton Town Board hereby determines that the action of the amending of the town's zoning map for a 4.26 parcel is in unlisted action, and therefore, after review, the negative declaration of significance and seeker for the purpose of the amendment, now therefore be it resolved by the town board, town of Milton. Motion for resolution number 90.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Frolich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, the time now is 6:33. A public hearing on the zoning amendment for 352, 356 Saratoga Avenue. Brenda, could you read the notice, please?
Please take notice that the town of Milton will hold a public hearing on October 25th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. at the town offices, 503 Geyser Road, Boston Spa, New York, regarding the consideration of a zoning amendment for 352-356 Saratoga Ave, Boston Spa, New York. At such public hearing, all persons will be given the opportunity to be heard. A copy of the amendment is available for public inspection at the Town of Milton website.
Thank you, Brenda. The public hearing for the proposed 352, 356 Saratoga Avenue property is now open if anyone would like to speak.
The supervisor,
Yes,
members of the town board.
Can you go to the microphone, please? Thank you. It's up.
Supervisor, members of the town board. My name is Matt Jones. I'm a lawyer. I practice in Saratoga Springs. Actually pinch hitting tonight from my partner, Justin Grassi. And I'm here on behalf of Mike Monaco in connection with an application I believe you're fairly familiar with, having been before you onto the planning board, back here with a positive recommendation from the planning board, as well as a declaration of no county significant impact. from Saratoga County Planning Board. I have a presentation that I don't plan to give unless you ask me to do that, and I'd be happy to do it. But I'd be pleased to take your questions if that's the will of the board.
Anyone on the board have any questions?
I thank you, sir.
I think we're all set. Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to speak from the audience? Brenda, anybody via Zoom?
Nope.
Hearing none, motion to close the public hearing for 352, 356 Saratoga Avenue.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson?
Yes.
Councilman Frolich?
Yes.
Councilwoman Carr?
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell?
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander?
Yes. Next public hearing on the cannabis dispensary, time is now 6:36. Brenda, could you read the notice?
Please take notice that the town of Milton will hold a public hearing on October 25th, 2023 at 6:35 p.m. at the town offices, 503 Geyser Road, Boston Spa, New York, regarding the consideration of a zoning amendment for cannabis dispensary. At such public hearing, all persons will be given the opportunity to be heard. A copy of the amendment is available for public inspection at the Town of Milton website.
Thank you, Brenda. The public hearing is now open for the cannabis dispensary, if anyone in the audience would like to speak.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to address you today.
Excuse me, can I get your name and
Oh, I'm
address?
sorry, I'm getting to that.
Sorry.
My name is Steve Gillish, and I live in the village of Rock City Falls. I'd like to state my opposition regarding the so-called distribution of cannabis in the town of Milton. I firmly believe that the sanctioned distribution of recreational marijuana is wrong and harmful to all taxpayers in every respect. I am a former police officer, and I've had more than my fair share of riding while under the influence. As we open this opportunity up in the town, yeah, there will be additional funds available supporting the town, but the cost is severely offset when you consider the lives will be impacted as this. And it may be one of the lives of the families that are currently here tonight. This is significant. Driving while under the influence is a major problem. When I was a police officer, they upped the severity of the laws associated with driving while under the influence. And I thought, for sure, this is going to curb people, let people think twice about driving while under the influence. It did not. This measure, yes, other towns perhaps will go and do this thing. The town of Milton, and I firmly believe, I've lived here for almost 50 years, and I've always found this town to be reasonable, practical, and in the best interests of the citizens that reside here. And as I said, this decision to have cannabis funding or distribution here will be physically, psychologically, fiscally affecting every single person in this town. Please take time before you make this decision, because once you open the door, you won't be able to close it. And we're going to have to live with a decision. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I guess I just want to get up and offer the opposite point of view. I mean, there's liquor stores everywhere. Cannabis is legal in New York now. I think the resolution that's being put forth is very reasonable with the guidelines that it lays forth. And I think this should be treated like any other legal business in our town. So I support the resolution. Oh, Martina Bantham, 32 Birch Tree Lane, sorry.
Thank you. Excuse me, Steve. Just so you're aware, this was passed, I believe, before I took over in 2018. It was already passed that the town of Milton passed to have cannabis in the town of Milton.
Okay.
This is just for the dispensaries to come in and sell it.
Okay,
Just to make,
Thank you.
just so you're clear on that, okay?
all right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else like to speak? Brenda, anybody? Hearing none, a motion to close the public hearing on cannabis dispensaries.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, public comment period number 1. Public comment period number 1 on agenda items only. Anyone in the audience like Tim Bantham?
My name is Tim Bantham, 32 Birch Tree Lane. Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board, and good evening to my fellow citizens. I stand before the board to publicly support a resolution on the agenda tonight, number 97, 2023, which is the adoption of the Climate Smart Communities Pledge in the town of Milton. Details of the Climate Smart Pledge have been presented during past meetings, so it is not my intent to cover those again here tonight. Putting this resolution forward for a vote tonight shows that members of the board recognize the potential threat of a changing climate, and that we as a community are willing and able to take steps towards both mitigation and adaptation as we meet future challenges head on. I'd like to commend the board for demonstrating leadership courage and showing that our community leaders have an eye towards the future. It is my hope that the resolution passes without delay. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Yes, sir.
Hi, Joe Seaman, 7 Van Brummel Lane. Good evening, all. I also would like to talk about the Climate Smart Communities Program. Thanks to the board for having Josh Trainoff give his presentation. I presume you all have gotten a chance to look at the website climatesmart.ny.gov, and I find it to be extremely thorough, and it describes all the different possible actions that the town of Milton could take as part of this program. It seems to be a very straightforward and cautious approach. You set up a team, an advisory team, and a coordinator, and then you start with an inventory of what's in the town, what is producing carbon pollution, and what are the areas where we can take action. And nothing is forced down anyone's throats. So the team or the group comes up with different recommendations, and you find what particularly works for this town. Some of the solutions may be solar panels on roofs. Maybe we can help people get energy audits for their homes, and people can save by not not using energy. Maybe we can use the Cateros Creek for hydropower, so we can do an inventory, see what's happening in the town, what works, what are the options, and then if you follow through with the actions, then you document them, and it's very well explained on the website. You get grant money from the state. This seems to also fit in with many of the things that have been happening in this town. You've got the electric car chargers. My car is plugged in right now in the parking lot, and this seems to be the type of direction we're taking. The plan we heard about envisioning a town center, this seems to fit quite well with those plans as well. So it seems to be a no-brainer, and I think we all want this town to be a place where we move into the economy of the future. And let's remember that if we save money with clean energy, all the money that we're not spending on ExxonMobil, or that we're not giving to a foreign corporation like National Grid, if we produce homegrown energy right here, clean energy in our town, that money stays in the town, in our community, and most effectively stimulates our economy. So again, thank you all for having heard the presentation. And if you adopt this resolution and begin this program, I'm sure you know you'll have free advice, consultation from Mr. Dranoff and his colleagues. So I hope you all will give it some consideration and pass this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Well, it seems to be an evening of point counterpoint. I would have had some comments on the canvas if I come prepared, but I didn't. So I am speaking about this resolution that you have for the climate smart communities. And I spoke about it a month or so ago when it was brought forth in front of the board. I think that the actions that they are proposing are common sense actions. I think as a resident of town, my elected officials, our hired professionals like Delaware Engineering, our great employees, can implement all of these suggestions without the necessity of a pledge. I didn't have time to speak to council, but I'm assuming that the signing of a pledge is not a contractual obligation, and I would leave that with your council, because I would hate to see the town sign a contractual obligation, because one of the things that bothered me, and I did go on the website and I did look at it because I like to do my research before I speak, it said you can modify the whereases, but the 10 points are immutable. I worry when they're immutable. And I especially worry when they're immutable in number 9 or number 10 is engage in an evolving process of climate action. What's evolving and what's the action? As I said, the things that you can do like relamping with LED and putting solar panels out and reducing consumption of energy, all are good and should be happening ongoing all the time. Informing our citizens of what they can do is also a good thing and a necessary thing. But I don't think it requires a pledge or the signing of a pledge in order to accomplish those items. And I heard mention of monies and grants and so on. So when I went online, I looked it up, and the eligibility requirements for this, and in particular, it mentions municipalities need not be a registered or certified as a climate smart community to apply for a grant. So you can apply for the grants without becoming, signing a pledge or becoming a climate smart community. Grants come with assurances. They usually have requirements. They usually involve you losing some sort of control over some sort of element of governance here in your locality. And it comes with usually prohibitions. So as I look at it, I think as a community we should implement good climate initiatives. I don't feel that we need to sign a pledge or to get on board. In regards to that, those grants are available. I worry about things when they use words like immutable. What is the ultimate agenda? I think we can all agree that we want to have a good climate, we want to have a good environment, but I am concerned when we have to sign a pledge in order to achieve what should be common sense implementation. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
I already spoke, but I just want to address some things that were factually incorrect that this gentleman made. If I could just take a brief minute.
Sir, you can come back up, but we're not going to get into a debate.
I'm just going to address a couple of briefly. Okay, so when you get certified, if you read about the program, certified is after, so for example, Saratoga Springs is a community that is certified and has already taken some of these steps. Ballston, Clifton Park, some of the other neighboring communities, they are participating in the program, they passed the resolution, and if you want to get the grant money, the first step that is mandatory, it's all in there, it defines which are mandatory actions and which are optional or recommended actions. But mandatory action is passing the resolution, but it doesn't in any way contractually obligate you to anything. You pick and choose which, there are hundreds of possible actions, you pick and choose which are the ones, but you are not eligible for the grants until you pass the resolution. So I just wanted to correct that as a factual matter. Thank you for your time again.
Thank you, sir.
We won't do point counterpoint, but I will enter this as part of the record. This is from Grants for Climate Action, Climate Smart Communities, and I just highlighted municipalities. You can read it right here. No, I'm not wrong. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, I really, you should do your research, sir. It's right there on the website. It's black and
We haven't
white.
explained. Being certified is
Okay.
not necessary.
That's
to
enough,
get the grant.
that's enough, that's enough, that's enough, nobody else.
Okay?
Tim?
Yes, I just wanted to briefly respond to my fellow citizen, Mr. Bogosian. He's correct in saying that you do not have to be a member, or you do not have to take the pledge to be eligible for the grant, but however, if you are participating, it does put you up higher in the selection process, so it gives you an advantage. And I am not an attorney, and I would defer to counsel on any of this, but I do not believe that this pledge is contractual in any way based on my interpretation. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Or anybody via Zoom?
Nope.
Public comment number 1 is now closed. Moving on, Resolution 93 of 2023. Resolution authorizing the construction of a new highway garage and authorizing the issuance up to $13.5 million in serial bonds of the town of Milton to pay the cost of a new highway construction garage and authorizing the issuance of up to $13.5 million in bonds and anticipation notes of the town of Milton for the same purpose, whereas the town of Milton is responsible for maintaining its town roads and keeping town roads free from snow and ice. And whereas the town highway superintendent and town board have determined that the construction of the new highway garage is necessary for those purposes, and whereas the town board determined that this project is an illicit action pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, seeker conducted and coordinated review and reviewing and addressing all relevant portions of the short form environmental assessment form, determined that the project would have no significant environmental impacts and adopted a seeker negative declaration on January 25th of 2023. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Milton, Saratoga County, New York as follows. I'm only going to read section 1. There's 22 sections. Section 1 covers pretty much all of it. The specific of the objective or the purpose of which the obligation authorizes the resolution, the bond resolution, are to be issued in the construction of a new town highway garage on town property as detailed in plans by Delaware Engineer, DPC, including related preliminary and incidental costs of the project and such specified objects or purposes hereby authorized at a maximum estimated cost of $13.5 million, which covers the rest of the sections 22 of the said resolution. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board, town of Milton. Motion for resolution number 93.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? No? Oh,
Just as a point of clarification, just this allows us to do up to 13.5 million, doesn't mean we're gonna spend 13.5 million. This just gets it set, gets the budget set. There's still some things that need to be determined on our building that will affect the cost.
Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, Resolution 94 of 2023 to approve the proposal provided by Delaware Engineering DPC for the engineering design bidding award and support and construction administration and observation for the new highway project. Whereas the town board and the town highway department are in need of engineering design services for the design, bidding, and award support in the construction administration and observation for the town's new highway garage project. And now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby awards and appoints and hires Delaware Engineering DPC of 28 Madison Avenue, Extension, Albany, New York, 12203, to provide architectural, structural, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and civil engineering services for the design, documentation, and construction of phase services to the town's new highway facility located in the town's existing Round Street parcel at a cost not to exceed the sum of $900,000 plus miscellaneous additional costs, if any, all set forth on the attached proposal, and further authorizes the town supervisor to enter into and execute a contract as well as all other necessary and required documentation and pay all amounts due and or to become due regarding the same. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board, town of Milton. Motion for resolution number 94.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Is that Doc?
Yes.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution number 95 of 2023, resolution authorizing the advance of monies from the general fund to the capital projects reserve fund. Whereas the town board, town of Milton must from time to time make inter-budget transfers, and said transfers must be based on resolutions by the town board and the town of Milton. Now therefore be resolved, the town board of the town of Milton does hereby authorize the temporary interfund advancement of $300,000 from the general fund to the capital projects fund for the purpose of paying current costs in engineering, finance, and legal, and all other town highway facility projects in accordance with general municipal law, section 9A, with said amount to be repaid to the general fund upon issuance of the project debt authorized pursuant to a separate resolution of the state. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board, town of Milton. Motion for resolution number 95.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution 96 of 2023, resolution to approve the park and ride license agreement with the Capital District Transportation Authority, known as CDTA. Whereas the town finds it to be in the best interest of the town and its residents to have a park and ride area with bus shelter in the town's premises located at 503 Geyser Road, Ballston Spa, New York, and now therefore be it resolved, the town board does hereby authorize, agree, and consent to allowing the town supervisor to enter into a license agreement with Capital District Transportation Authority with offices located at 110 Waterloo Avenue, Albany, New York, 12206, for the purpose of providing a park and ride with bus shelter on the town's premises located at 503 Geyser Road, Ballston Spa, New York, 12020, and further authorizes the town supervisor to sign into and said lease agreement, a full copy complete, which agreement is attached hereto and made a part thereof, and to execute all needed and necessary documents and pay all amounts required and necessary as part thereof. Motion for resolution number 96.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution 97, 2023, resolution to adopt the New York State Climate Smart Communities Pledge, whereas evidence indicates that climate change poses a potential and increase in threat to our local and global environments. Now therefore be it resolved, town of Milton, in order to adopt the potentials of changing climate, adopts New York State Climate Smart Communities Pledge, which comprises of the following elements. Number 1, building a climate smart community. 2, inventory emissions, set goals, and plan for climate action. 3, decrease energy use. 4, shift to clean renewable energy. 5, use climate smart material management. 6, implement climate smart land use. 7, enhance community resilience to climate change. 8, support a green innovation economy. 9, inform and inspire the public. 10, engage in an evolving process of climate action. Now therefore be it resolved by the Town Board, Town of Milton, motion for resolution number 97.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Zaxton,
Yes.
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell,
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution 98 of 2023, resolution to hire Jonathan Larson to fill vacancy in the Highway Department as a machine equipment operator, whereas the Town of Milton Highway Superintendent has advised of the need to hire a new Highway Department employee to fill a vacancy in the position of a machine equipment operator, and now therefore be it resolved the Town Board, after due consideration and upon recommendation of the Highway Superintendent, does hereby appoint and hire Jonathan Larson of 175 Perry Road, Saratoga Springs, New York 12866 as a machine equipment operator, grade 4, step 1, at an hourly rate of $23.43 per hour, full-time, to start October 23rd, 2023, with benefits that are provided for by the town personnel policy, if any, and with said hire to be conditioned on a 6-month probationary period wherein his performance is and remains acceptable to the Town Board and Highway Superintendent pursuant to the town policy. Now therefore be it resolved by the Town Board, Town of Milton, motion for resolution number 98.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Zaxton,
Yes.
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell,
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution 99 of 2023, resolution to approve the proposal submitted by Delaware Engineer and DPC to develop procedures for the dedication of roads from private developers to the town. Whereas the Town Board, Town Highway Superintendent, upon review of the road dedication process for the town, found it necessary to develop an up-to-date procedure and forms for the dedication of roads from private developers to the town, which include reviewing the current code requirements, developments of additional standard forms and procedures and documentation for consideration, as well as the adoption of the code amendments if necessary, and now therefore be resolved by the Town Board, hereby awards and appoints to hire Delaware Engineering DPC of 28 Madison Avenue, Extension Albany, New York 12203, to update the procedures for the dedication of road highways from private developers to the town, which would include reviewing the current code requirements, development of additional standard forms and procedures and documentation for consideration at a cost not to exceed the sum of $15,000 plus miscellaneous costs, if any, all as set forth in attached proposal, and further authorizes the town supervisor to enter into and to execute a contract and all other necessary and requirement documentation and pay all amounts due or to become due regarding the same. Now therefore be resolved by Town Board, Town of Milton, motion for resolution number 99.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Any discussion? Councilman Zaxton,
Yes.
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell,
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution number 100 of 2023, resolution to enter into a contract with Allpaid Incorporated for online payment to the town court's fines by use of a credit card. Whereas the town court is desirous of setting up a new system to allow a person to pay a fine or fines imposed by the town court directly through a website by credit card rather than by mail and or in person, and now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board, after review and consideration, does hereby authorize, agree, consent to, and ratify allowing the supervisor to accept a proposal of and enter into a contract with WorldPay LLC and its affiliate Allpaid Incorporated of 7820 Innovation Boulevard, Suite 250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46278, to provide online billing paying for fines imposed by the court, wherein all charges are to be paid for by an individual by making the payment, all as set forth and attached in the proposal, and further authorizes the supervisor to do all necessary and pay all amounts in furtherance of the same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Town Board, Town of Milton, motion for resolution number 100.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next resolution number 101 of 2023, resolution authorizing the purchase of a Bobcat loader for use in the town of Milton's Highway Department, whereas the town highway superintendent has advised the town board that it's advisable and necessary to purchase a new Bobcat loader to be used for town's various highway projects and as part of the highway department's equipment replacement program. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Milton Highway Superintendent is hereby authorized to expend the sum of $45,000 plus any incidental expenses in order to purchase and obtain a L-28 small articulated loader from Clark Equipment Company, Bobcat Company, LLC, as referenced above, and this resolution is shown and attached hereto as a proposal, and it further be resolved that the town highway superintendent is hereby authorized to and enter into all and sign all documents and pay all amounts needed in order to execute the same. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board, town of Milton. Motion for resolution 101.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next resolution 102 of 2023. Resolution to approve the salary study for the elected positions completed by Public Sector HR Consultants LLC. Whereas the town retained Public Sector HR Consultants LLC to conduct a salary study for the town's elected officials. And now therefore be it resolved that the town board, town of Milton hereby accepts the salary study performed by Public Sector HR Consultants LLC, a full copy of which is annexed here too. Now therefore be it resolved by town board, town of Milton. Motion for resolution number 102.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, resolution number 103 of 2023. Resolution to open a special bank account for the deposit of proceeds from the sale of bonds, bands, and capital notes and additional funds appropriated for the specific purpose for which the bonds, bands, and capital notes have been authorized in accordance with local finance law, section 165. As part of the construction of the new highway facility, the town of Milton Comptroller has requested that a special separate bank account be opened at the Ballston Spa National Bank for the deposit of proceeds from the sale of bonds, bands, and capital notes, as well as any additional funds received from inter-fund transfers and state and federal aid in accordance with local finance law, section 165, to best manage and track said funds and all expenditures therein. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board hereby authorizes the town supervisor and town comptroller to open a separate, distinct, special account with Ballston Spa National Bank for the purpose of depositing proceeds from sale of bands and capital notes, as well as depositing of any additional funds received from inter-fund transfers, state and federal aid, in accordance with New York Local Finance Section 165, as recommended by the town comptroller, limited the expending of the funds only to and for the specific project and purpose for which the obligations were initially issued and for which the additional funds were specified and earmarked for. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board, town of Milton. Motion for resolution number 103.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next resolution number 104, 2023, resolution amending the town zoning map regarding Michael Monaco's property located at 352, 356 Saratoga Avenue in the town of Milton, whereas the town had previously caused to have prepared a 2021 town of Milton, New York State Route 50 corridor enhancement study as update to the previous 2005 Route 50 transition plan to encourage development and redevelopment within the Route 50 corridor and create a more vibrant, aesthetic pleasing, and walkable corridor and identify traffic improvement possibilities, and now therefore be resolved after due consideration that the town board, town of Milton, does hereby approve the zoning amendment of Monaco for the said property at 352, 356 Saratoga Ave by rezoning the existing 4.26 acre parcel, tax map number 20311-1-26 from R1 residential to quarter to mixed use, and directing the immediate amendment to change in the town zoning map in accordance with such zoning change, and further authorize the town clerk to file all the necessary and do all the requirements in accordance with the application provision of law in order to effect the same. Now therefore be resolved by Town Board, Town of Milton. Motion for resolution number 104.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Is that Bob?
Yes.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes. Next, a motion to move the November 22nd town board meeting to November 15th, due at 6:30 p.m. due to the fact that it's the day before Thanksgiving.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to accept Margaret Meg Stevens' resignation from the planning board effective October 1st of 2023.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to accept Margaret Meg Stevens' resignation from the Youth Bureau Board effective October 1st, 2023.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Just as a clarification before it gets in the newspapers, if Meg's upset, she's doing it because she's retired and now wants to do some traveling. So,
Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to appoint Jim Fry as a planning board member with a term ending December 31st of 2026.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, so Jim is moving from the alternate position to the board seat. A motion to approve advertising for an alternate planning board member.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to approve advertising for a planning and zoning clerk.
Make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to file the 2024 preliminary budget with the town clerk in accordance with town law section 106.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to set a public hearing to review the 2024 preliminary budget on Wednesday, November 1st, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. in accordance with town law section 108.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next, a motion to schedule a special meeting to approve the 2024 adopted budget for Wednesday, November 8th, 2023 at 9 a.m. in accordance with town law section 109.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Councilman Zaxi,
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes, next department and committee reports. Animal Control Monthly Report for September 2023, total calls 64. Fight cases 2, dangerous dogs 0, animals seized 15. Tickets issued, unlicensed dog 11, running at large 1, nuisance 0, totaling 12. Respectfully submitted, Dave Drzezinski, Animal Control. No assessors report this evening, Building Department.
Okay, during the month of September, the building department managed 27 building permits, collected $7,469.95. Completed 102 construction inspections, fulfilled 14 fire safety inspections, responded to 14 code enforcement violations. A total of 21 certificate of occupancies were issued, along with 13 certificates of compliance. Received $12,000 in Parks and Rec fees. Respectfully submitted, William F.
Thanks, John. Next, Buildings and Grounds.
Buildings and grounds for September 2023. During the month of September, I did daily cleaning and setups at the community center, repaired and sealed the metal roof at the stump dump, set up shelves for janitorial supplies, installed a new exterior light, ordered and installed 2-door commercial refrigerator at the community center. I have helped the parks with mowing, weeding, and installing a 1-inch line and manifold, whatever that is, for the irrigation system at the middle ball field. Respectfully submitted, Mark Leroy.
Thank you, Barb. Next, Comptroller's financial reporting package issued at the town board, made available to the public on our website. There's no economic development this evening. Next, Highway.
Okay, October monthly report. The Highway Department has finished roadway reconstruction on Plummer Road. The Highway Department's fall pickup started on October 15th. Town residents can bring their yard debris curbside for the Highway Department to pick up. Sticks and branches must be separated from the leaves and grass clippings to avoid damaging our equipment. Mixed piles will not be picked up. Any branches or trunks must be under 4 feet in length. We cannot pick up items longer than that. Anything that is considered lot clearing or any work done by a hired contractor. Town residents can also bring their lawn debris to the transfer station located at 503 Geyser Road. Transfer station hours are Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is closed on holiday weekends. Fall pickup ends with our first major snowfall. Respectfully submitted, Town of Milton Highway Department.
Thanks, John. Next, Historian Mike. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor. I'm Mike Companion, Town Historian for the Town of Milton. We had a busy October. I have a number of things. Actually, it's probably going to be the longest part of your evening, Alice, guys. Sorry about that before ahead of time. First of all, I have to mention the fact that the Town of Milton received the Kesheling Site 2022 Environmental Report from J.P. Showman, manager of the site. The report is filed in the Town of Milton Vault. On October 7th and 8th, I spent the weekend at Saratoga Battlefield as part of a living history event promoted by the Saratoga County 250th Committee and the National Park Service. We took part in educational programs describing the role of the soldiers in the battles of Saratoga, the importance of the Saratoga Battlefield to the history of the region and the country. On October 10th, I met with the 250th Committee of the Town of Milton. We discussed the progress of a few projects, including the final details of the Revolutionary War Trivia Night, which was a great fun. A lot of people attended. The place was packed, which, because of that fact, I think we're going to do it again next year, Mr. Supervisor. I hope you approve of that.
It was a great time.
All right. I have to mention this fact, too, that the Milton Minutemen won the contest, a.k.a. the Highway Department. Good job, guys. All right. Let's see. We also discussed on October 10th the kiosk with the town of Ballston historian Rick Reynolds. We talked about, because he's going to partner with us on this project, we discussed funding sources for the panels, and Rick suggested we pursue the county and getting the funding for that so we don't have to take it out of our pockets. We already have the materials for the building of the kiosk from Curtis Lumber, which we're gonna probably pick up before the end of the year to make sure we have that to start in the spring. We also discussed the ceremony we're gonna have on November 11th at 11 a.m. at Factory Village Cemetery, which commemorates the founding of the Factory Village, the cemetery itself, but also the 4 Revolutionary War soldiers interred there. We're putting a new sign for that as well. We're probably gonna have some reenactors there, Revolutionary War reenactors. We're gonna have a exhibit of axe and scythe tools from the Blood Axe Factory, from Dave Trombley from the Village of Ballston Spa. If anybody wants to look at that stuff, it's pretty cool stuff. So again, that's like on November 11th at 11 a.m. Okay, at Factory Village Cemetery. Let's see, we finally got to our October 22nd commemoration of the War of Mexico veterans at the Village Cemetery. It was a quite well-attended event. We had local politicians, we had members of the Grant Cottage come, the reenactors there. We had the artillery reenactment group there as well. We had a lot of local organizations show up, including the Masons, the library, the garden club. Unfortunately, the Boy Scouts had to cancel because of the rain, possibilities of rain. The little guys didn't want to deal with that. But we had, again, it was probably about 70 people showed up, and we did unveil a new capsule, which was pretty good. It was well attended, but like I said, I think people enjoyed it a lot. It was about probably 6-7 months of planning, and the town was actually generous enough to make loans or donate money toward that. So I want to thank the town and the board for that that donation. Let's see, I think that's about it. It's shorter than I actually shortened it up. I'm not going to drag it out too long. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Next, Justice Court.
Justice Court report for September 2023. Fines collected, $2,562. Surcharges, $2,498. Civil fees, $865, for a total of $5,925.
Next, Planning and Zoning, Mark.
The zoning board met on September 28th and discussed 1158 Good Road, which is an expansion in addition to a daycare. The final decision for that was approved. That applicant actually returned on October the 11th for the planning board meeting. They determined that a site plan is still required from the applicant, so no action was taken. Also on the October 11th planning board meeting, there was discussion around a new project at 272 Stone Church Road, which is a major subdivision of 34 units. This actually replaces the Caesar Brothers PDD that we've had on our agenda for some time. Preliminary plat is needed and will be discussed further at future meetings. And lastly, 202 North Line Road site plan and special use permit review, which is a new proposed gas station and convenience store at the old Sunmark Bank location. Public hearing for that has been set for November the 8th. That's all.
Thank you, Ryan. Next, Town Clerk.
So for the month of September, we had 10 marriages, one-day officiant license, 9 certified marriage certificates, 26 certified death certificates, 9 FOIL in search of records requests, 150 dog licensing, 29 of those were online dog licenses, 338 hunting and fishing licenses, 3 pavilion and community center rentals with a town share of $3,473.41. We also had planning and zoning fees of $3,500.
Thank you, Brian. Board member discussion on new business. I did contact CDTA on our last board meeting. I had a few people stand up and speak about the bus route that ran from Route 50 down Nolan Street, down Geyser Road. I did have a Zoom meeting with them. They couldn't give me any indication of a bus line that's going to be like on a daily basis, but they did say they could provide me with a limited bus route there just to get that back going again. And I advised them of our proposed projects on Milton up here at Town Center with the proposed 500-unit mixed-use commercial. And they're going to get back to me. They're going to do a study, and hopefully he said he can get that bus line back in full service If not, they're gonna guarantee they can get some kind of route there on a daily basis, even if it's not every 2 hours, it can be like every 4 hours, but at least we're gonna get it back at some point, so I just wanna give you an update. I wanna give you an update on that, yes. We did meet with New York State DOT on the roundabout project. They were in our office on 2 different occasions. The projected start date is 2024. There's gonna be a public hearing in November, possibly at the community center, so if anybody wants to attend that, to get a better understanding of that entire project, that's gonna be in November. We'll put something up on our website, so if anybody's interested, they can attend that public hearing. The Highway Garage Phase 1 project, if anybody's drove down Round Street, they see that that's already been started. The cold storage and the fuel line project is phase number 1. At our next board meeting, I'll give you a detail of what our expected cold storage building will be up and running, and the fuel island. Right now, we're clearing the site. When we get specified dates, I'll let everybody know when they can expect that to be fully completed. I assume by early next year. Fire protection contract is coming due with the village. We'll be doing a new fire contract with them. That expires in December of this year. Any other board members have any new business they want to discuss? Hearing none, moving on to board members' old business. I just want to give a shout out. Our trunk or treat was at the community center due to the rain. We had a huge success. I want to, Brenda Howe, I want to recognize the people that were there. Brenda, Barb Kerr, John Froelich, thanks for the donuts, John. Lisa Wanis, thank you, Lisa, for all your help. Meg Soden, thank you for all your help. And Yvonne downstairs in the assessor's department. It was a huge success. We probably had about 250 people. Yeah. A huge success. So I just want. Oh, and Amanda, I forgot about you. You're the entertainment. Amanda was taking care of all the kids with all the games. She did an outstanding job. I just want to thank everybody for their time and effort. It's really appreciated by the town board. Anyone else have any discussion on any old type business going on in the town? Or you want to talk about 29? At all? No? Okay.
I just have a quick statement. Thank the supervisor certainly for his guidance in getting our highway garage moving. I've been very vocal about that since I started as a councilman. And with your leadership, Mr. Supervisor, we have taken some great strides in this town. I think you should be commended for that.
Well, it's not me, it's a board. It takes a board, not just me, but everybody has good ideas, and this board is definitely, in the past 2 years, moved forward in a way I can't explain. It's been great, and I look forward to the next 2 years with all you guys. Ryan, unfortunately, we're losing you in a couple months, but thank you for everything.
The other thing I had, I know I made a commitment to the residents that last month we would have to reimagine Milton Center here, videos up online. We got slowed up with some technical issues, and Mary Beth has guaranteed me that next, I'm going to get it a little, I'll say next Wednesday. They should be online and functioning for everybody to see.
I do want to say something. I don't want to ignore the comprehensive advisory committee that we formed, and we've met a few times, and Meg Soden is one of the members. I think we accomplished quite a bit last night. We got some good ideas out, and I reported back to Scott this morning. So if anyone has any ideas about that, please let us know. We're looking at the zoning across the town and how to improve it and make things a lot better as a community for everyone.
Anyone else? Hearing none, public comment number 2 and any other town business. If anybody would like to speak, public comment number 2 is now open.
You guys did an excellent job getting through a long agenda, so I don't intend to make this any longer. I do enjoy robust public debate. And I would probably ask the board to make sure we preserve the audio and video of tonight's meeting. I don't lie, cheat, steal, or tolerate those who do. The last time the Green Initiative was brought forward, some woman from the audience got up and sort of indirectly claimed me to be ignorant of what was being discussed. Tonight, I was accused of making false statements. I want to remind the public I am not an elected official. You do not want to accuse me of making false statements. If I do make some statement that's incorrect, please bring it to my attention. I'm very careful about the research, but my integrity will not be questioned. I will not tolerate somebody getting up and saying I made a false statement. So, as one of your Democrat friends once said, Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan, there can be many opinions, but only one set of facts. I suggest that we stay with facts. I engage in robust debate, but don't do it again, because I like baseball, and you have 2 strikes. Thank you.
Anyone else? Brenda, anybody via Zoom?
Nope.
Public comment number 2 is now closed. There is not a need for executive session, so a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilwoman Carr.
Yes.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Supervisor Ostrander.
Yes.
I didn't bring up about the questionable way. I think I won that.
Yeah, several people have said the same
Recording
thing.
stopped.
They want it as well. No
Mike, you
names
gotta rub it
necessary.
in, rub it in.
I just want to remind everybody, just a reminder, our next board meeting will be November 15th at 6:30.
We can
Be posted on our website.